I'd like to call to order the Apache Junction City Council meeting to order. The invocation will be led by Vice Mayor Rizzi and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Schroeder.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of being gathered here today to do the city's business on behalf of our constituents. We ask that each of us be guided by you in the decisions we make that will affect others and not by any personal agenda or ego. We ask to be humble in our disagreements and that we never forget we are here to serve the people of this beautiful community. Father, we ask for your continued protection over all of our first responders, those serving in our military, and their family members. We ask that they be brought home safely each and every day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Here.
Mayor Wilson,
Yes. I'm here.
Vice Mayor Rizzi,
Present.
Councilmember Evans. Here. Councilmember Heck.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Nesser.
Present.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Okay, do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Vice Mayor Rizzi,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans. Yes. Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Your awards and decorations, do you have them?
Proclamations.
Proclamations?
I do, Your Honor, I do. Keeping them all for me.
Check your mic.
Can't hear you. Can you pull your mic closer?
Is
Okay.
it turned
Or
on?
turn it on, make sure it's on.
Make sure it's,
Tap it.
might have been off.
Should show a green light.
Okay. All right. I have two proclamations to read. Make a Difference Day. Whereas serious social problems concerning our nation, our city, and our future, and whereas we, the American people, and the citizens of Apache Junction have traditionally and or a tradition of, oh man, that's a heck of a word. Philanthropy? Philanthropy?
No.
Philanthropy. And volunteerism to bridge the differences that separate people and help solve community problems. And whereas in our city, nonprofit organizations, schools, corporations, houses of worship, families, neighborhoods, and friends serve together to make a difference. And whereas 2022 marks the 32nd annual Make a Difference Day held in partnership with the Arizona Sustainability Alliance. And whereas the city of Apache Junction supports a vibrant community to enrich the lives of our citizens, now therefore I, Chip Wilson, Mayor of the City of Apache Junction, do proclaim October 8th, 2022 as Make a Difference Day.
Picture taken. Smile. Come on, Gail.
Okay.
Is this far enough, Matt? Am I?
Yeah, you're not.
It's just weird to see people in the background peeking around.
You can always be the photo bomber.
I
Or what do they call them? Yeah.
You want to say a word? Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
So just real briefly, this
this event begins at 7:30 Saturday. We hope you can come out and help in some way at the focal point, and then we'll split up and go to various projects around. And we'll go till about noon. So if you can make it out, we've got word out to Just Serve will be there. We did some Facebook and Nextdoor advertising, so hopefully we'll have a good crowd. So hope to see you Saturday morning at the focal point.
I have ice.
Thank you.
Every Friday, so.
Okay, Red Ribbon Week. Whereas cities across America have been plagued with or by numerous problems associated with alcohol, tobacco, and other drug uses, and whereas local leaders in government and in the community know that the support of the people in the neighborhoods is most effective tool they can have in their efforts to reduce the use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. Whereas the city of Apache Junction values the health and safety of all our citizens, substance abuse is particularly damaging to one of the most vulnerable resources, our children. And whereas it is a great or a goal of the Red Ribbon Week, the city of Apache Junction to involve families, schools, businesses, churches, law enforcement agencies in all aspects of this campaign establishment in atmosphere that supports awareness, education, and whereas October 23rd to the 31st of 2022 has been designated National Red Ribbon Week, calling on all Americans to show their support for a drug-free state by wearing a red ribbon and participating in drug-free activities during the week. Now, therefore, I, Chip Wilson, Mayor of the City of Apache Junction, do by here proclaim October 23rd to the 31st of 2022 as Red Ribbon Week in Apache Junction, and encourage all citizens, businesses, religious, and educational institutes to wear and display red ribbons and participating in a drug-free activities throughout that week.
Chief Pooley.
Corporal Marshall?
Take the pink.
Hannah Dulcet.
Say any words?
Mayor and Council, I just wanted to say thanks for this proclamation. This is an important proclamation. Enrique Camarena, Kiki Camarena, is the agent for DEA, was kidnapped February 7th, 1985. He was killed 2 days later. And they've made this a national campaign, and so we've designated this time to honor his memory by increasing our call for living drug-free, and that's what we're doing. I'm kind of standing in today for Carl Halpern, Officer Halpern, who is our DARE officer. He's teaching the drug abuse resistance education in all of our elementary schools and at the junior high. And we're going to be, this next week, we're going to be, or when we return actually from fall break, we're going to be pushing that even further, and Officer Halpern will be going around and doing additional talks at all of the schools, including Avalon Elementary School. So thank you for the proclamation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, regional intergovernment updates. Does anyone have anything they want to say? Yes.
Surprise, surprise, I wanted to add some about Make a Difference Day. First of all, the CDC, we were notified of one of our elderly citizens, very low income. She had some roof damage during our storms, and H&R Roofing stepped up and repaired it for her free of charge through one of our board members. So we do more than clean up woods. We try to, weeds, we try to connect people. A big shout out to Walmart and Ace Hardware, again, for their huge donations to help us with shovels and gloves and rakes for our big Make a Difference Day. And I want to stress that if you don't have the ability to weed and be a lumberjack, we're also painting over at Flatiron. The mural on the back wall is going to be extended. We also have children painting rocks at Flatiron Park. Little kids just love doing that. So there's things for all abilities. The Silly Mountain cleanup and planting, that's a little bit more rugged, but if you can't stay the whole time, if you can only stay a couple of hours, it all helps us clean up. We have one private resident off of 20th Avenue in Idaho, which is a private property cleanup that we do as well. If you're a previous volunteer and you have one of these lovely T-shirts already, please show up wearing it. We have more T-shirts for our new volunteers. And like I said, whatever time you can give to us, we'll take it. Oh, and also there's painting, revitalization of the bricks at the focal point because the lettering has faded through the years. They didn't have the UV paints that we have now, so people are actually down on their knees, just tracing the lettering. So, like I said, there's almost something for everybody. You can sign up on our website, ApacheJunctionCDC.com, and sign the waiver, or just come and meet your neighbors. Thank you all.
Anyone else over here?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I had the privilege of attending my first board meeting of GPEC. That's the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. It was actually their annual meeting. Very informative. I learned a lot about how GPEC goes about its process of trying to support business development in cities around Arizona. Certainly, I learned too that with the real estate market and various other components, the value in the Phoenix metropolitan area isn't quite as great as it had been in the past. So there are some new challenges that have presented themselves, but the GPEC folks are very skilled in kind of working through that. There will be some representatives from GPEC that will be coming out here to meet with City Council and our new Economic Development Director and give us the opportunity to discuss with them how they can support us. Because while I see that the real estate market and such has been a challenge in many cities, I see this as a wonderful opportunity for Apache Junction. So I think it will be, I'm counting on this being a good partnership with them. So more to come. Thank you.
Okay, well, Bryant and I had the opportunity to go down to a Pinell County, I'll say, meeting on the business and opportunities facing Pinell County and how much Pinell County has seen and has grown over the past couple of years. And of course, their main influx was in the Eloy and Casa Grande and Maricopa area, where a lot of businesses have come, but also it includes the area in and around the airport out here at the Gateway. And they're seeing a lot of growth. They're seeing a lot of business opportunities that are looking very favorably to us. And it is something that we are part of. And of course, we're in the county that is. And this growth is going to be something that we're going to be seen very quickly here in the very near future. So it was I'm going to say, an enlightening of how it's happened in some of the areas and what they've had to face. And we'll work together with the, I'll say, developers in this aspect of them. We may not be directly involved in the business activities or some of the developments, but we were going to be on the receiving end of a lot of, I'll say, potential people that would be having future jobs. And so it looks good for the entire area. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bryant Powell, City Manager. I'd like to have a little fun. Matt, can you toggle back to the Make a Difference Day? As I introduce our new Economic Development Director, Patrick Ainsworth, I want him to know that one of the 5 or 6 folks there on the far left, thank you, Matt Busby, is the former Economic Development Director,
No pressure.
Janine Solly. Mayor and Council, I'm very happy and pleased to present to you and our community our Economic Development Director, Patrick Ainsworth. He has a degree in urban planning and come on up, Patrick. Yep. Urban planning and regional planning, Bachelor in Arts in Urban Planning, comes to us from a planner's background. He has experience as an Economic Development Director in 2 areas. One, and he'll explain some of this, City of Des Plaines and also Wheeling, Illinois, which is a suburb about the size of Apache Junction near Chicago. So, Patrick, here we go.
Well, just to add one to the resume, being an Eagle Scout, I volunteered a lot, so
All right.
tell me where I need to be.
All right.
So it's a pleasure to meet you all. Again, as City Manager Powell had mentioned, I'm from the state of Illinois, grew up there, lived 1 year out of state, Indiana, went right back, but I've got a lot of friends, family, my best friend from here, 2 of my brothers are here. My aunt has lived in Arizona for over 30 years, so I've actually been visiting Apache Junction, the Phoenix metro area since 1995, so it's kind of become a second home to me. So I've made the 5-state jump last week, had a lot of time to both listen to books on tape, but also think about what positive impact and what I can do to help your city. There are great bones, great aspects. I can't wait to jump right in. I had a great meeting with Matt and Bryant already today, and we are going to hit the ground running. So I'm happy to be here, happy to answer any questions you may have, and yeah, get to right to work.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone got any questions?
Just a comment, Your Honor. I look forward to seeing what new ideas you're going to bring. And then you can just see Gail for your shirt size for Saturday morning.
Depends if I put it in the dryer too long, so I'll let you know.
So, you went to Ball State, did you not?
Yes, yeah.
I heard a lot of things about that college.
Great school. I actually stared at the David Letterman building so much that it kind of looks like the shape of his face after you stare at the front entrance so long. So, yeah, it was a great school, very hands-on, very design-oriented, and they have this program called Design Charrette, where it's very hands-on, and you think with the community and grow these ideas into from pages to bricks and mortar. So, I've got a lot of great background in that to definitely help make that happen here.
Yeah, I'll make one big comment in the aspect that great people come from Illinois and they find out the best place to be is here in Arizona.
Hey, I found that bumper sticker. You're right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, and thank you, Patrick. Yep.
Welcome. Bryant?
All right, and so we'll keep it going here. We have an update from Jennifer. We have a big night, next council set of meetings, the Boards of Commission, and we are planning on doing it similar to what we did last year. Jennifer, can I turn it to you and have a quick summary?
Real quick. So, good evening, Your Honor, council members. Applications for those wishing to serve on the city's various boards and commissions were received from August through September 15th. We coordinated with Public Information Officer Al Bravo for the Marketing and Communications campaign, which included posts to the city website, social media, and the downtown marquee sign. Staff is in the final process of consolidating and preparing for your interviews, which will be conducted Monday, October 17th at that work session, and then Tuesday night, the following evening, is your appointment process. We do plan on following the same process that we improved upon last year.
That was an excellent job. That was just amazing, the process change that your department had done. So thank you so much for all of that.
Thank you. Couldn't do it without them, for sure.
And just as a note, this is a Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, probably from 3 years ago or so. Oh, you may
Yeah.
recognize the
I'm gonna make a comment.
Yeah, look at
3 or
that.
4 years.
Look at
Is
that.
what it is?
Three of the
4 years.
council members are,
The gateway to
there.
council.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, what's interesting is Vice Mayor and Councilmember Evans too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, prior to that.
So those,
It's a great
maybe
primer.
Chip too, I don't remember, and Bambi.
And there are actually, none of those people are on the P and Z any
Okay.
longer, too.
Interesting.
Right.
Yep. Well, sure appreciate that, Jennifer, and we're going to share something new and important that we need to share with the community tonight. We are very excited to have here with us the community's newest Chief Crisis Officer, Maria Johnson, who is going to share a little bit about some new information that's going to be coming out to the public, and it's regarding a crisis lifeline. And Maria?
Yes, thanks for having me. Maria Johnson. I work for Horizon Health and Wellness. I've been working in Pinal County for about 19 years. Wow. Most of that time overseeing crisis services, outreach services, and youth engagement specialist services, which are positions dedicated in the school for preventative care. I was asked to join, and thank you again for inviting me, to talk quickly about 988 Crisis Line. It is a 3-digit crisis line number to access the National Suicide Crisis Line. That was rolled out July 16th nationwide, and it was established to make access to crisis services easier with the increasing need for behavioral health services. What it provides is access to a trained counselor to provide support and de-escalation if there is needs related to emotional distress, behavioral health, substance use, suicidal thoughts, anything really that falls under that area. It also has veteran support services available. You follow the prompts when you call. It's available 24/7, confidential. What they help provide also is connection to local resources, dispatch of emergency services if needed, and mobile teams. What makes it different from 911? Again, it's behavioral health, mental health focus. If there is a life-threatening situation, it's still recommended that you call 911, and they'll dispatch a mobile team if it's appropriate. Some other changes that have rolled out also, as of October 1st, Mercy Care became the new regional behavioral health authority in the central region. What that means, Access funds the regional behavioral health authority. They fund providers. We're a contracted provider to provide services. That did also open up the boundaries and areas that we're able to serve. So it's the hope that we can provide more timely crisis services in your community. I think it was 2014 where zip code changes kind of affected that availability and response, and then that's led to delayed responses. And so it's really been exciting for that change to occur. That was just this past weekend. What we have also are seen thus far is a decrease in mobile utilization. We think that they're providing more support by phone to help de-escalate and community stabilize. But, we really want to remind everyone of crisis services. Now I feel will be more readily available with this change that came as of October 1st. Real quickly, 988 is available through text and chat online, 988lifeline.org, where you can access that. Again, get connected to trained counselors to help provide support services. Any questions?
Any questions or comments? Go ahead.
I just had a comment, and you kind of answered part of it. I had heard about this ability for people to not necessarily call, but to text.
Yes.
Which is a neat ability, because sometimes people just aren't comfortable making that phone call and connecting, voice through a phone call, but they're a lot more comfortable texting, so that's pretty awesome. And then I say this a lot. You said you've been with Pinal County for 19 years. I don't know what's in the water here, but I would have thought you were 19 years old.
I really like to preface that because I don't want anybody making the mistake. I'm new to behavioral health. I've been working here for a long time, and I actually am from Pinal County. I graduated out of Kearney, Arizona. So, very near and dear to my heart, services that we can help continue to, bring to the community. But, the text capability is a great feature, especially for the younger generations who really don't talk on the phone anymore. So they're able to access services that way. And again, crisis, our area has expanded now. So we really want to increase utilization. We believe response times will be much quicker, and so we're really looking forward to helping provide support here.
Thank you for what you do. That's so important.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to say, this 988 is such a blessing for anyone who ever tried to call the other two numbers. And unfortunately, fortunately, if you never had to call them, you were lucky. However, they had split the city where if you were on the west side of Idaho, you had one number to call. If you were on the east side, you had another, and it, God forbid, you call the wrong number. But about a month and a half ago, through the CDC, I felt the need that this gentleman really needed crisis help. And I was on hold for 35 minutes, which created a second crisis because I was looking to just tear someone a new one. So, and in my frustration, I reached out to Maria, who took care of the problem for me. But I think this should make everybody's job much, much easier.
Yeah, we're very excited to be able, again, to serve. What was challenging with that zip code split, our plaza location is in the zip code we don't serve. So that really made it pretty difficult and challenging for us. But, you know, that change was as of this weekend, and so we hope to see, you know, that support increase, as I mentioned.
And this is statewide.
Statewide is the 988, and it really is, with the hope it is easier to remember, you know, because there are, a number of different crisis lines, but all of those are still active, so if you call, it will still be routed to the, correct area, but 988 will help to dispatch and identify, local teams available.
And give our police a break on calls they really can't help.
Right. Yeah, I definitely
shouldn't help.
believe that will improve.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Maria, before you go, just, yes, Chief Pooley, we need to make sure, making this connection. We often are sharing with folks our non-emergency number for certain items, and in our culture, we need to start thinking 911, 988, a curriculum for our children. The texting piece of this is huge. This is really important. And I really thank you for coming in, and it's good to hear a Ray Bearcat, right?
Yes.
So in Pinal County, I'm so thrilled. Is there something, Maria, that we can do to help you? I know that Al, Bravo, and Matthew are already coming up with a plan right now on how we can let you know about the flyers and we can start getting the word out. There's probably much more. I know we need to get it in our community and our culture. Was there anything else you see that we could start doing?
I think if we are able to advertise it on any community websites, pages, city pages, we're going to be working with the schools to pass that information along and working alongside law enforcement also when they're responding to calls to help provide and hand out that information. Because, again, it's often a behavioral health emergency that happens. The only number they know to call is 911. And so we're really trying to change that in 988 and help provide that education. So,
Will this coincide with a lot of the high schools had put on the back of the ID, the suicide hot, will this coincide with that? Awesome.
and they're all tied together.
Yeah.
So whatever number they call, they continue to call. I believe existing crisis lines will remain active for another year.
Okay.
Perfect.
Wonderful, outstanding. We've already got ideas coming into me, marquee.
Yeah.
So we can do more.
It-
So
it-
we'll do
it-
our part, do all we can.
And however I can help and
Yep.
give support to the community, please let me know.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, one item I want to share, I hope that Al did this. I know you don't want to hit the next button, but you need to.
Is that an order?
It's an order, it's a directive, as Joel would say. Joel loves directives. Okay, so this last week, Mr. Busby completed 15 years with the city of Apache Junction.
Looks like
And,
you just graduated high school.
Yeah.
Every white hair.
Matt is our day-to-day, keep it going, interacting with department directors, keeping everything going, our operations so smoothly. And Matt, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for all you do. Carry on all that's going on in our city so that we can set a budget, spend less than we bring in, and do the things that you all would like us to do as a community. So if anybody would please join me giving Matt a hand. 15 years, big day. Like I always say, he's halfway through the marathon, and I'll keep it going. Your Honor, that concludes my portion. Matt is actually going to do double duty that Al would normally do. Are you ready to go with
Yeah.
community
Yep.
events?
I won't be as exciting as Al is, but I can't promise I'll be briefer than Al. This is event time of year, so we have a lot of events to share with you in the community tonight. All this information is also on our social media and on our website as well. The first one coming up as part of October's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we'll have a Walk-in Family Day hosted at Prospector Park. All the information is on this flyer, and like I said, the website, the social media, and if you look here down at the bottom, there's a lot more info that you can get at this contact information. And so we encourage participation and come support this and help raise awareness to this most important issue. Next, we have the Mud Fun Run, which is a great event hosted every year that everyone who's ever participated just has such a blast. Families and individuals just come and have a great time. The Parks and Rec Department does a great job in hosting this, and there is pre-registration that's required, and all the information, again, is on the website or Parks and Rec's social media page to get signed up. And then our Halloween Festival. I should note that's Saturday, October 22nd for the Mud Run, as you see on there. Halloween Festival is on the following Saturday, October 29th, a busy time of year for our Parks and Rec Department. You can see all the great things going on there from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Costume contest, free trunk or treat, Halloween canine contest, and the pumpkin carving contest. Food trucks, games, booths, inflatables. It'll be a great night. So we invite the whole community to come out, bring their families, and come have a great time. And also over at Earth Heart Park, the preceding night, Friday the 28th, at Earth Heart Park, 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pumpkins in the Junction, pumpkin painting, trunk or treating, free food, and lots of activities for the families. And I believe that's all we have for this.
Yeah, I want to make a quick comment about the mud run and the aspect on it. Not only is it great for the families and the kids that are participating, but it's also a fun opportunity to just observe and to watch the reactions and the expressions of not only the kids, but also the adults that dive into that well, I'll say puddle, I'll call it.
It's a mess.
It's a lot of fun to watch. So if you're not going to be involved in it, come on out and enjoy the sights and the sounds of the kids having a great amount of fun in all the mud.
Isn't there a new requirement for new staff, or a
Yeah,
requirement for new staff?
They do it, yeah. Yeah.
Patrick?
I'll go with you, Patrick.
Mud run.
It's not so bad.
He's like, what?
Okay, what the heck am I getting
He's
into?
got it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor, yep.
Thank you very much. Well, first off, I'm proud to say we have no public hearings. We have no old business, no new business, no direction to staff. So I'm going to ask for a motion for upcoming meetings.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I move that an executive session at 6 p.m. for Monday, October 17th, and Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, be held in the City Council Conference Room located at 300 East Superstition Boulevard, Apache Junction, Arizona, and other meetings scheduled if necessary.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Heck?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rizzi?
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. I would like to remind everyone the call to the public is a courtesy and not required by law. It is the time for the public to express requests, communications, comments, and suggestions. Each speaker must have already filled out a request to speak form and hand it to the city clerk before the end of the city manager's report. All issues shall be expressed in a professional manner without personal attacks. Under the open meeting law, the council cannot engage in discussion on issues presented by, but may respond to criticism and may direct staff to follow up with the speaker directly and/or place the matter in a future agenda for a council discussion. There is a 3-minute limit for each speaker, and I do have 3 speakers here. So, and I believe this is Jeremy Jackson.
Mayor, council, thank you so much for listening to me for a minute. Thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity to be able to come up and speak. My name is Jeremy Jackson. I'm 1353 South Bel Air Road here in Apache Junction. There's a couple things that has bothered me and a couple others that are around me in my neighborhood. And it's not necessarily in my neighborhood that we have an issue. It's during council meetings. It's during this particular time, whenever we're called a meeting, and Chip had already talked about whenever it says that you can't be pointing out people, and you can't be coming up and saying that this person has this issue, or this person is out of whack, or we don't need any of you, or anything like that. Not ever going to say names. But any one of those times, that's out of order to me. I feel that this is almost as much a time as being in a court proceeding in a way, because there's a certain amount of decorum in that as well. Me and my neighbors are in here to be a part of the process, not against the process. And I think that should be anybody that walks in the door. We should have issues. Yeah, we're all going to have issues with somebody. But that's not here. That's not city business. So I guess the question in my mind is, and it's more of just brought more to you guys, is there a possibility of putting some more teeth toward the back end of this, where it's talking about pointing out people and becoming more belligerent? I would like to see a little bit more teeth on it if possible. No great shakes if there isn't, but just more of it bothers me. Guys, thank you again. That's pretty much it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Brenda McAllister.
Hi, before you start ticking away on me, could y'all pull up your computers for all the potentials around Royal Palm and Superstition? If you would, please. I'm Brenda McAllister, and I live at 724 East Scenic Street. And I have some real concerns for the potential properties that are going to be coming forth to you folks. Have you heard we have a water shortage? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's like 1,500 homes going in behind me right now on Royal Palm and Superstition. Then they're proposing more homes, a continuation of Keystones going on to Idaho and continuing on to Superstition. Then they would like townhomes or apartments on Idaho Road.
It'll put it up on the screen, so everybody can, there you go.
Thank you. Keep the ticker off. And then behind the mobile home park, they want to put apartments 55 plus. They want to put townhomes here. I happen to live right here. We have a water shortage. how about just getting to the grocery store?
Talk into the microphone, please.
How about just getting to the grocery store? It's gonna be pure chaos with all the traffic right there. Too many rentals. I moved out here thinking this was country 5 years ago when I bought my property, and it's just turned into something horrible. This was horse property, and it's turned into rental, whatever. It's not good for Apache Junction to have all these rentals and the traffic, and especially when we have a water shortage. So I ask you to really take a look at this, please. And thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
Okay.
By the
Andrea?
way,
Well,
does anybody know what construction hours are for a residential area?
you can talk to that, to city manager afterwards.
We get-
Andrea Meek?
Good evening, it's Andre Meek, 1327 South Bel Air, here in AJ. Council, Mayor, I attended the last city council meeting. During public comments, one of my fellow AJ residents requested his 3 minutes of comment. His comments touched on code enforcement and the apparent lack of enforcement of city codes. As he spoke, I was alarmed when he stated that the city council will not be included, and he is working with the police chief and the head of code enforcement, and they will get the job done. My huge concern is not that a citizen voiced controversial opinions and action, as that's his right, but if the council sees this as a call to insurrection of city employees, and will the council reassure the citizens of AJ that the rule of law will prevail? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments? Yes.
I would just like to know who gave us these very subtle T-shirts. I was thinking someone might speak about it at Call to the Public, but I'd like to thank whoever gave it to us. I'd just like to know why.
That was from the Apache Junction Police Department. We could give a little background.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else have a comment?
I have a
Yes.
comment. Your Honor, with a couple of the comments that the folks on this side made, I have a growing concern about some of the things that have been said and about naming people. I do think it's become an issue. And if we can, I don't know how to have that conversation with these folks, but we might need to have that conversation up here on an agenda. It's become a growing concern. If we're, I hear you. I just don't know what I can and can't say right now because it's called to the public is a little bit different. But if we can figure out a way to address that, it is a growing concern, at least for me.
Okay, now, I want to have to force be using that a little more myself. So I take that as criticism myself. All right. And I'm going to adjourn our meeting.
Yep.